everybody. My name is Neda Atanasoski, and I am the chair of the Feminist Studies Department. And it's my great pleasure today to be speaking with Kim Angulo, who graduated as a Feminist Studies major in 2013. So we're starting a series called 5 Questions with a Feminist, where we'll be speaking to our former majors who've gone on to do great things in life. So let me quickly introduce Kim before getting into some questions. Kim Angulo grew up in the Sacramento area before coming to UC Santa Cruz, where she studied feminist studies and studied abroad in Spain for a year. She graduated in 2013, as I mentioned, with a BA in feminist studies. After graduating, Kim worked in policy at the California State Capitol as an Assembly Fellow through the Capitol Fellows Program. She worked at the Capitol as a fellow, then as a legislative aide for 3 years, focusing on criminal justice, civil rights, social services, and health policy. Kim then attended UC Davis School of Law, graduating and passing the California bar in 2019. Kim is currently working at the San Joaquin County Public Defender's Office as a deputy public defender. She's involved in local politics as the president of the Sacramento Stonewall Democrats, a club whose goal is to elect more LGBTQ people to public office. Well, thank you so much, Kim, for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with me. And it's great to see you. I remember having you in a lot of classes.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if you can tell me and our feminist studies majors about your job and what it is that you do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thanks for having me. I definitely took 3 of your classes, so it's fun to talk again. So I currently am an attorney. I work as a deputy public defender. So essentially my job is representing people who are charged with crimes who can't afford to hire a private attorney. So I am new at this. I'm a new attorney. So I work with people who are charged with misdemeanors. Day to day, I'm in court, trying to get people out of jail, trying to prevent people from having convictions on their records, advocating for people who are kind of caught up in the system in various ways, by advocating for them, by going to trial, in all the ways that we can do through the legal system. So I didn't know what a public defender was before I kind of went to law school. So I think it's a really great career, especially for someone like me who got started in criminal justice through feminist studies.
Wow, that's great. Can you tell us a little bit about how feminist studies prepared you for what you ended up doing as a career?
Yeah. So I came to Santa Cruz undeclared, had really no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and hadn't really been exposed, kind of thankfully, to the criminal justice system in any way. And I, through feminist studies, kind of learned about all of the injustices in the system, took a critical race studies class, took your class's professor where we talked about prisons, and I just became kind of passionate, fascinated with the whole system, and wanted to work in it, but wasn't quite sure where my role could be, and it really took me a long time to kind of figure out how I could impact the system in a positive way, and it kind of took me going through policy and realizing that really criminal justice is such an important and huge issue, and it felt like everyone should be passionate about it, and nobody was. And so I decided, it's something that I can work at and I can do. And so I went to law school from having a career job in policy, specifically to work with people impacted by the system, and feminist studies is what got me passionate about it in the first place.
That's incredible. And do you think feminist studies prepared you for the classes you ended up taking in law school?
Yeah, definitely. I think I will tell anyone that I was a feminist studies major because I loved it so much. And I think it really has helped me in kind of a number of different ways, like obviously learning how to write very well. There's a lot of obviously writing with fem studies majors, but a lot of it is learning how to look critically and analytically at kind of just everything. And that really helped me in my policy job. That helped me in law school. And that helps me now, when I'm reading police reports and, police are saying this thing happened and, we'll see.
That makes a lot of sense. That kind of attention we put to critical reading skills, writing, and then your political passion too, are all of the things that we at least try to do in our classes. Well, I should ask you, what was your favorite class as a feminist studies major? Or if you had more than one favorite class, what were some of your favorite classes? And you don't have to say mine.
Well, honestly, I mean, I liked all the classes that I took with the Fem Studies department. I kind of the one that got me hooked, I took freshman year, spring quarter, I took Feminism and Science with Professor Karen Barad, and that class just like blew my mind. I had just no idea what I was getting into when I signed up for that class, and I just absolutely loved it. That was the class that like made me want to be a feminist studies major. And it was this experience where I had, never had a class where I would like be sitting at the front of my chair, just so excited to learn. And like, I kept talking about what I'd read about and what we talked about in class, like every day to my friends. And I was like, yeah, this is it. This is, I've never felt this way about a topic. And so, it's the class that sticks out the most to me.
That's wonderful. And actually, I've heard a lot of people say that about that class.
It's an amazing class. And
so what do you think when you kind of reflect back on the major? Is there something that you learned that you feel is the most important?
Yeah, that's a hard question because I feel like the whole experience, like every class exposed me to something new. But I think that something that's stuck with me the most, which I think maybe is like I don't know, maybe like the ethos, I don't know of another word for it, for the major for me, was just being open to learning and hearing other perspectives and other experiences, and not kind of coming in believing that you know everything. And that was, I think, like a theory of living life that I kind of got through feminist studies. And just being around so many different like classmates who had different experiences and learning so many different things, that's definitely stuck with me.
That's such a powerful way of putting it. And I love that, a theory of living life, feminist studies. If only we would live up to
I'm not saying that it's easy. Yeah.
Is there, do you keep in touch? This is off the 5 questions, but I'm curious if you keep in touch with friends that you made it through the major.
Yeah, I mean, I do have some friends definitely who are feminist studies majors, that I still kind of keep in touch with. And some of my best friends, actually, my partner started off as a feminist studies major and then moved to psychology. So it's definitely kind of where I met a lot of people who have been close to my life to this day.
That's wonderful. I had no idea you met your partner in the major initially.
Yeah. Yeah, she said she was a feminist. She was in feminist studies, and I was like, I'm into this.
I love that. And then just to conclude, I'm curious if there's anything else that you think our major should know, either about you, about being a feminist studies major, about Santa Cruz, anything that you'd like to share?
I mean, I think for me, I really going into college and even, you know, into my junior, senior year, just kind of had no idea what I wanted to do. You know, I wasn't able to do internships. I worked, so it was kind of just scary going out and trying to figure out what I wanted to do that was paid work that would let me, you know, do good work, and make an impact. And, you know, I think that my path, I definitely, you know, had some help and I definitely got a little lucky. But it's definitely something that you can do, you know, getting into a policy field, getting into law school, doing something, that you feel like you're making an impact on. It's definitely scary, but very doable. And I'm also happy to talk to students. I love talking to Fem Studies students and hearing about really just everything in classes and stuff. I miss the classes a lot.
Oh, we have so many new classes. I don't know if you follow the department at all, but we now have 13 faculty members.
That's amazing.
So it's a very large place now. And Kim has kindly offered to share contact information, which we will also be posting. So if anybody has questions for Kim, and Kim, thank you so much for your generosity and willingness to speak to me. It's incredible to see you after all these years. And I'm so glad that you're doing this important work. And Kim is going back to court right after
Yes.
this conversation. So onto a really different kind of thing. But
yeah.
Thank you so much, Kim.
Yeah, thank you. It was so good to see you.